I told my 35F husband, 37M, that we should get a divorce so he can marry his late wife Tombstone. I am not op. Posted by you, jealous of late wife TA on our relationship advice. And NBSP. Original August 17, 2021. I, 35F, married my husband, 37 meters. 10 years ago. Prior to our relationship, he had been married for 2 years to L, 22F. Sadly, she passed away because of ongoing health issues. I met my husband 5 years after her passing. At the beginning of our relationship, I had some issues with his romantic history. To put it bluntly, I was having trouble accepting my husband's past, and that he did not stop loving his late wife but was forced to do so. I went to therapy for a year to treat that, and I managed to overcome this issue. My husband knows this and was very supporting of me in the treatment. I now like to say that Elle and I would have been best friends. The issue, after 10 years of marriage, we have been having a lot of arguments. Derived for bad communication. We just seem to blow off everything out of proportion. About 3 months ago, every time we have an argument, he takes the car and goes away for hours. When I asked where he went, he told me that he went to see her. Elle. Now, this is very weird from him. Because he, at best, visits Elle's grave 3 times a year. I then asked him to not run away every time we fight, and to please tell me when he goes to the cemetery so we can go together. He just brushed me off. He has been doing this for months now, and it is destroying me. The feelings I fought the first year of our relationship are coming back. I am sad all the time. I cry at night, but my husband just keeps going away for hours. At this point, I think he is doing it out of spite more than anything else. Yesterday, I reached my limit. We fought over freaking trash. That's how petty our arguments are. He took the car at 4 p.m. Returned at 11 p.m. I was waiting for him at the dining room. The combo went like this. Me. Where were you? HB. I visited her again. Me. I've told you multiple times about how your actions hurt me, and you continue to do them. HB. You can't stop me from going. Me. Well, we can get a divorce. That way, you can marry Elle's tombstone. Being that you care more about it than our marriage. I could see the shock in his face when I said that. I apologized immediately, but I think he did not hear me. I saw how he started crying. He has been locked in his office since yesterday and refuses to get out. I feel like the biggest awe ever. What I said was a low blow and something horrible. I attacked him where I knew he was going to hurt. But, at the same time, a part of me thinks that what he is feeling right now is just a fraction of what he has put me through for months. I literally made a vow to Elle the day I got engaged. I told her, you can take care of him from heaven, and I will take care of him here on earth. I broke that vow. Is there any way I can salvage this relationship? Edit. A Redditor told me to put this in the post 3 months ago. We found out that I am pregnant. After 8 years of trying. He has been visibly stressed out and reactive since the discovery, even though we both wished for a baby. And NBSP. Update August 20th, 2021. Hello, everyone. My previous post was locked and removed, but I still wanted to update for everyone who kindly commented and left advice under the post. Before the update, I wanted to clarify something. I was only jealous of Elle in the first year of our relationship. But as I said, I worked through it in therapy. Throughout my relationship with my husband, I've hosted dinners in her honor, ordered embellishments for her grave, pushed my husband to reconnect with his former in-laws, and I even placed her in my altar of Dia de Muertos alongside my family members. I consider her a friend, even if I never met her. The update. We agreed on temporary separation. Since we still don't know how are we going to co-parent and stuff like that. Shortly after my post, he came out of his office. I made us both dinner. And we talked. For what it feels the first time in months. First, I apologized for what I said. But I told him that the point still stands. I then asked him if he truly goes and sits at her grave for hours. He said that he does not. Turns out that he sits at her grave for an hour at max. And then goes on a tour around the city visiting their favorite places. He goes to restaurants and asks for her favorite dishes. Drives around her favorite spots in the city. I then asked her why. Why was he doing it now that we found out I was pregnant after so much trying? He said that he could not avoid thinking about what it would have been to raise a child with Elle. And about how many things he missed experiencing with her. He did say that he did not regret our relationship. Which makes it better, I guess. I also asked him if I failed him in any way. Was I a bad wife? A bad friend? Did I fail to fulfill his needs? He said that I just wasn't her. Honestly, I think I'd rather have someone punch me than him telling me that. Finally, I asked him when is he starting therapy. He responded that very soon because he wanted to be a good father. I said, fine, because I don't want someone around my child who grieves an imaginary child and an imaginary life when he has a living and breathing family. That's all, I think. He moved out to his parents' house the same night. Her mother did call me to tell me that she and my Phil chewed him out for what he did. I thanked them and told them that I am still very interested in them having a relation with my child, and they should not pay for their son's mistake. I also visited Elle. I apologized for breaking my vow, but that I hope that she is able to watch over husband and to help him throughout his therapy. I want to thank everyone who helped me realize my mistakes and how I was neglecting myself. You were all very helpful, and I owe you all a lot. And NBSP. Final update March 25th, 2022. Hello, it's me, again. Since my last post a lot has happened. I gave birth to my son a bit over a month ago. He is the most beautiful baby ever. I love him more than anything. I've also been going to therapy and it has been great. Overall, life is kinda dreamy right now. Doesn't seem real. Anyways, since everyone here was so helpful last time, I figured I would ask you for advice in this situation. After our separation, my husband started therapy. He was diagnosed with depression and is on meds. He also started to attend a grief support group. Since all of this happened, he's changed so much. It's like he's a different person. During all of my pregnancy, he's been so supportive, helpful and respectful of my boundaries. He is also very apologetic and has asked for forgiveness for everything that he put me through this last year. He made a list of every way he failed me and apologized for each one of those things. I've also attended various of his therapy sessions, apart from marital counseling, that helped me understand the immense grief he's been carrying, apart from his own mental health issues, and how all of it became exacerbated with the arrival of our baby. The last 3 months of my pregnancy were pretty bad. The doctor advised me to move as little as possible. My husband offered to be my live-in nurse, and I accepted. So we have been living together for the past 4 months. Of course we don't sleep in the same room or anything like that. He's been so great with me. We've had so many amazing conversations, and we just work wonderful together. I feel like I regained my husband, that the person I married is here again. After putting the baby to sleep yesterday, we had a conversation. He told me that he thinks he is ready to rekindle our relationship and ask me for a second chance. He told me that he will do anything he can to be deserving of a second chance. I honestly don't know what to do. This past year I watched him try to better himself, and succeed at it. He's also been so kind to me and is great with our son. But I also know that he is in a pretty vulnerable state right now. And I really don't know if I would be able to pick up our relationship where it ended. I don't know what to do. Should I give it a try? TLDR. My STB ex-husband has changed. He asked me for a second chance. But I don't know what to do given how our relationship ended. What do I do? This one is all around awful. Grief can do horrible things to a person. If there is one thing I hope posts like this do, it's to normalize therapy. I have gone to therapy to work through issues and better myself. Mental health is vital, and if you suppress trauma for a decade or so, it will come back to manifest itself in weird ways. I hope OPP, her co-parent and their child are happy and healthy even if they don't end up together. I am thinking two things about this situation. I hope things will work out for them. But if they don't, I hope she is strong enough to recognize it. If it doesn't get better and she needs to make some changes. I don't think there could ever be any getting past the "I just wasn't her" comment. As it turns out, she wasn't really the one that needed therapy. You go 10 years trying to relive stuff and don't get help, that's a problem. I think the part that might have been overlooked was how he was weaponizing Elle. He would make his wife believe he was at Elle's grave for hours at a time. I think that's really frustrating, especially when it's paired with the line, "You're just not her." I'm glad he's healing, but I can't imagine coming back from a place where he uses Elle to punish and hurt his wife. This just made me so sad. I hope the husband has truly changed for the sake of Oop and the baby. Yeah, that dude had no business getting married before he worked out his issues. Please do not let the next update be update. I found out my 35F grieving husband, 37 meters, was actually having an affair when he said he was visiting his late wife's tombstone. I know everyone always expects the new partner to be understanding of their partner who lost somebody, but come on, there has to be a limit to the attachment to the dead. Op was right. No one needs a partner, father who grieves for the could-haves when they have a living and breathing wife, child. Good for him, but I was not getting back in a relationship with him. Tears of joy. I mean, how can any live woman compete with a 22-year-old dead ex-wife? Touching story. I hope that she doesn't jump back into things with him. She's got a 1-month-old and she needs more time to be able to trust him. That said, it's wonderful he's making the effort finally. I'm probably gonna sound like an ass, but if I was Oop, I would not get back together. X has issues and it's good that he's taking care of them now. Would have been nice to do it 10+ YRS ago. But I wouldn't be able to get over what he did before that. I would always be wondering if he really loved our child or if he was still wishing it was a baby with his other wife. If he really loved me or if he was just picturing her. Anytime we fought, I would wonder if he's gonna run away to imagine a life without me and our kid. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would want to be with someone that I'm positive loves me. If he's ready to move on from his dead wife, that's good, but it would have to be someone else. The damage has been done here. My fiancé died some years ago. The grief never goes away really. It can come in waves. It's one thing if it was fairly recent. But 10 or so years is long enough to learn how to cope with it better and not weaponize your trauma against others. When his parents die, she's just going to go through this all over again. It's one thing to support your spouse. Another thing to be their crutch and emotional punching bag. Honestly, the husband should have been in therapy at the same time Oop was. Instead, he bottled up his feelings until he couldn't do it anymore. While her being jealous wasn't right, him dreaming of the family he could have had to the point that He was neglecting and abusing her isn't right either. He never should have sought a new relationship with someone if he couldn't overcome his grief and come to terms with his late wife's passing. How horrible to put someone through something like that. Always making them hold a candle to the dead. Fuck that guy. First, Oop doesn't have to forgive and forget on his timeline. So what if he's ready? If they both aren't ready, then it doesn't work. And just because he's better doesn't mean she should take him back and unhear all the things he said. One of the big issues is that Elle died at a young age after only 2 years of marriage. She never fully matured into the woman she could have been. They for sure had some relationship problems. But it sounds like she had health issues her whole life before dying at 22. He has an idealized version of what his life could have been with Elle. And no one could live up to that. Not even Elle. I'm tired of people excusing despicable behavior because of grief. Grief is not a blank check to treat loved ones like trash. This poor woman deserves much, much better. I would rather stay single than have anything to do with that guy, to be honest. It's interesting that the general consensus so far has been the opposite of what Oop received in the actual final update. Whatever she chose to do, I just hope she finds happiness. She seems like a sweet person.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.